Hi guys, welcome back to Pre-Law and Order, your go-to podcast for all things legal. I'm so glad to be back here this semester to bring you guys a lot of fun episodes. I want to introduce you to my new co-host for this semester, Nicole.
Hi guys, super happy to be here.
Yay, we're so excited to bring you guys a lot of fun episodes on different parts of the legal field. And today we have a very, very relevant episode topic, right?
Very heartbreaking topic, I would say, for a lot of people.
We're going to be talking about the TikTok ban. My Shayla. Yeah, very sad. Moment of silence. It was a tough time for all of us.
Yeah, a tough 12 hours.
A tough 12 hours. And for those who deleted the podcast, Nicole.
Listen, it was just lapse of judgment. At that point, I was just like, it's going to be gone forever, so.
Yeah. But, all right, that's what we're getting into today. And the whole issue of national security versus free speech, right?
Yeah.
So today, we're going to be unpacking a major development that's sending shockwaves throughout the both tech world and the legal world, which is obviously the TikTok ban here in the US, right? This case sits at the intersection of national security and constitutional rights, and it's something that could have lasting implications on how digital platforms are regulated in the future.
And if you didn't know, just by tuning in, TikTok is a popular short-form content platform owned by a Chinese company called ByteDance, and it was officially banned January 18th of this year. So basically all the concerns about just security data on the app and all our information being shared to people across the country, across the globe, and that just really concerns people in Congress, and especially our president when Trump initially tried to get that ban in a couple years ago.
Exactly. So this isn't the first time a tech company has been at the center of such a debate. If we look back, platforms like Facebook and Twitter have also been embroiled in legal and political controversies that similarly pit free speech against broader societal concerns. So let's take a moment to compare these cases to what's happening with TikTok.
Right. So first with Facebook, they had a Cambridge Analytica scandal. So Facebook faced massive scrutiny for how it handled their user data, and the company was accused of allowing third parties to kind of just infiltrate and access our data without asking for our permission initially. Mm-hmm. And it just raised a lot of privacy concerns. So it led to a government intervention of a $5 billion fine from the Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC. And this just basically tried to get Facebook to just use stricter policies in terms of their data.
Exactly. That's a really good point. And then also while Facebook's issues were primarily about data privacy, they also had a free speech component. As the platform struggled to manage misinformation, especially during the 2016 and 2020 U.S. elections, it found itself in a delicate position. Facebook had to decide how to moderate content without infringing on users' rights to free expression. The company's content moderation policies led to accusations from both sides of the political spectrum, some arguing it wasn't doing enough to combat misinformation, and others claiming it was censoring certain viewpoints.
Right, so then now there's Twitter, and that was pretty recent with the whole Elon Musk thing and now it becoming X.
Yeah.
So I think this became really a relevant topic around January 6th when the Capitol riot kind of happened and everyone went crazy. So people were just really heated about, okay, am I being censored? Are my, opinions being silenced online because of the algorithm and, just political intervention in terms of,
and just, it's our First Amendment, right? Exactly. It's our constitutional right, the ability to have free expression, just express ourselves, whether it is through media or through
videos,
any sort of means.
Yeah. Right? And I feel at that point it's no matter what your opinion is, you have to be able to express it and just communicate it, no matter who thinks what or who's mad at you for what thing. It's just a basic, again, a right that we all should be able to have and express.
So it sparked a lot of fierce debate about the role of social media companies in regulating speech, right? Twitter argued that Trump's tweets posed a risk of inciting further violence after the whole riot, but critics saw this as a dangerous precedent for censoring political figures and stifling free speech. Because even if you're a political figure, a lawyer, anyone in the legal field, or just a citizen, you should have the right to publicate any sort of opinion online, right?
Right, and then the government argued that this potential threat justified the ban, even if it meant restricting a platform that millions of people used daily to express themselves, and this is where the legal challenges rose. So ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, claimed that the ban violated the First Amendment rights of its users and the Fifth Amendment guarantee of due process.
Exactly. And like the whole, let's say the whole reason why this whole like ban situation started is because of fear that the Chinese like government was gonna like could access user data like from the US and use it for espionage or influence operations, right? That's how it all kind of spurred, and you know that led to what Nicole was saying.
Basically how it works, or what I saw online at least, is that let's say we each have an account on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and then there's people that have companies that kind of buy our information that goes to government and then back to us, and that creates our algorithm online. So that's why it's super relevant that we have that private into ourselves and not just free to anybody and they can get it wherever. At least here in the US it should be strictly to here, not just sending it.
Like data is like the, I guess, like new gold. Like it is so important, and that's why like the US was so scared about, you know, kind of China being in charge of TikTok and in charge of our data, because just data is just so important. And you know, if it's in the wrong hands of someone, like it could be used the wrong way.
And not only that, it's a really huge marketing tool. Like people market a lot with our data, and based off what you like on TikTok or Instagram, whatever, you get 50 ads. So it's like you can really sell or lose like a business over what you're receiving from people's information. And if you don't get it, you're kind of you're kind of cooked if you don't get people's data.
Exactly. So, but unlike Facebook and Twitter, like we've discussed, where the debate was centered around domestic governance and user-generated content, TikTok situations involved international relations and cybersecurity. This added another layer of complexity to the case, because we aren't dealing with like internal relations. We're dealing with another country,
like unknown variables that we don't have any ideas about.
So the Supreme Court's decision to uphold the ban emphasized that when national security is at stake, the government may have more leeway to regulate even platforms that serve as major outlets for expression.
Right. So what we're seeing is that a broader trend is where tech companies are becoming central players in some of the most pressing legal and political issues of our time, whether it's data, privacy, content creation, or national security. These platforms they're at the forefront of debates about limits of government power and the scope of our own individual freedoms.
So, like, that's what makes the TikTok case so pivotal and I get, like, so important right now. Because it's not just about one app or one company, right? It's about setting precedents that could affect how other tech companies operate and how governments interact with digital platforms, right? The decision of banning TikTok, that can lead to maybe other future decisions or how other cases are going to be decided revolving tech companies, right? Like it's all about if the legal precedents that are being set in place, right? Even though the ban lasted 12 hours, it still was, you know,
kind of impactful. I think people were very scared because lots of creators, small businesses, big businesses have a lot of marketing on TikTok, and everyone has TikTok. Like even if you're older or younger, like people are just scrolling.
Even lawyers, like there are so many lawyers I've seen on TikTok that are talking about like legal cases.
Listen, I literally made my video to apply for this spot about the Blake Lively thing. I watched TikTok videos on that thing. Like that's how I got informed. And it's so good to have like a short content just to kind of like get the quick pieces that are good information and they're like good to know, and just keep on going. Like don't waste your time in a way. And I think it's a double-edged sword about like your attention span and all that type of stuff, but I think it does do good. It could also do bad, but it doesn't just it's not all bad, you know.
The ban was just like, it was, as you said, like very impactful because just the like amount of people that had the app, it was one of the biggest like apps.
I think it like surpassed Instagram.
It surpassed Instagram. It was like one of the most used apps in, you know, out of all the apps, right?
Now,
So, and from marketing, from just sharing information, from like just like fun videos.
Even like reaching friends across the globe. I have cousins that don't live in the US, so that's how we kind of like share jokes and have fun and whatever.
So it was that decision was very impactful, and also not even just for the public, just for tech companies, like other digital companies or tech companies are probably worried and thinking like maybe something like that can happen to my company. Like what if they restrict my app or my company on certain things? So it's all about those legal precedents and the impact that they make for all these different things. Like it's kind of like a chain reaction.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope for sure. But I also think that another important point to mention is that even though it did get unbanned, the app really can't like update itself anymore. So it might make it less efficient over time. So it's not really gonna like it's not really back. It's just more like a temporary like what's gonna happen next type of moment.
I think it's just like they just postpone the ban for like 90 days until
I
to
guess
see
Trump
if we can
kind of
resolve.
figures out what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's in negotiations right now with the creator
to
of
see
TikTok.
if there's some like within the negotiations there's an agreement that
Maybe he sells it, maybe something happens, maybe it's I don't know how that would really work out.
we'll
though.
keep following the case and
Yeah.
we'll see. We're gonna see what happens, right?
I mean, obviously, I think it's
So-
more of a given. We're all going to see what happens because
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, I got to know. I want my app back. Like,
yeah. So
But yeah, I think, like you said, it was a slippery slope for sure, and it could lead to a fragmented internet where access to certain platforms depends on, country to country relationships rather than just like everyone can have the app. And this does raise stakes for companies like Facebook and Twitter, now X, as they navigate similar pressures from governments around the world in terms of, maybe user policy, like data infringement, and like algorithm terms of, what gets seen, what doesn't get seen, and like what they allow people to say.
And again, let's not forget the broader implications of for free speech, right? If governments can shut down platforms on national security grounds, like how do we ensure that these decisions are justified and not just as a cover for suppressing dissent or controlling information, right?
I just think it's a very tough balance to have. I think we've seen before with Facebook and Twitter that it's just difficult to kind of like keep everybody happy in terms of like what you're doing on your own app, on your own website, whatever it may be. And TikTok's case, I think, might be even worse because, again, it surpassed every other app in users. And there's so much more, I think, variety of content on TikTok compared to other apps where they may be more, they have different niches, I guess you could say. So the outcome of this case could really influence how countries regulate digital information, or their platforms, and how they respond to these kind of like, rules and regulations when it comes to how they run their businesses.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's why we'll continue to follow this case and others like it. The intersection of like law and technology and politics is becoming more complex, and understanding these cases is essential for anyone interested in how our digital rights are evolving.
And with AI, especially now that's coming up, it's being a really big thing.
It's a huge thing. And if you want to watch an episode on how AI is even
Stay
impacting
tuned, girl or boy,
or anyone watching, right? If you want to watch an episode on how AI is impacting the law, there's an episode posted already, so you can watch that, tune in, right?
I'm not there, but it'll be good anyway, so I guess you can go watch that.
It's fine, But yeah, so that's the whole TikTok ban situation. It was a rough time for a lot of us. It was a scary time too because the whole like decision, I mean, TikTok's been like proposed to be banned like so many times, and it's never really like gone through.
Listen,
I think we were all shocked the fact that it like
sorry
actually,
to interrupt you, but
no,
I think
you're good.
in that moment, like I was like, that's not true. Like it's not gonna happen. Like it's not even gonna be a real thing. And I'm like,
it just
why can I
happened.
not get you back?
Like
it's like with the next,
and
like,
it's
baby,
like
come
sorry,
back.
it's not it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah, but I cannot imagine like let's say that like people that I watch on there that have like a whole like community behind them, like you just lose your livelihood overnight. Like how does that even happen? And if the app can't update and you just like become less and less efficient, like other apps will eventually beat you out. So it's like I really can't tell you how it's gonna end up, being resolved, but it's really insane. Like apart from it being TikTok, like it is a really crazy topic.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were following this case because, I mean, out of all the times that TikTok was like being proposed to like be banned or whatever, this one seemed like the most serious, and it ended up being serious because it was banned. Even though for 12 hours, it still was the Supreme Court did decide to ban it.
It still was a thing.
It still happened. So it was a very like scary time and all of that. But we'll continue to follow the whole story, the whole case, and see how things unfold. Whether it will be banned for good or whether we'll be able to continue using the app. So we'll see what happens, right? So that's all for today's episode and for Pre-Law and Order. Thank you so much for joining us as we explore the TikTok ban and its broader implications. And also, very, very important before the episode ends, please follow us on Spotify on the places Pre-Law and Order, right? Where you're going to be seeing all the episodes, and also give us a 5-star rating.
Just stalk us everywhere. Follow
Yeah.
us everywhere.
Follow us everywhere.
That's a
Subscribe.
command.
Subscribe to the Places YouTube channel, where you're also going to be able to find the podcast episodes there. If you don't have Spotify, that's fine. You're still going to see us somewhere, right?
We're inclusive. We're for everyone.
Yeah,
It's okay. Whatever
exactly.
you have.
You're gonna find us on, YouTube, right? And also, the Places YouTube channel's not only gonna post podcasts episode, but they're also gonna post a lot of new, fun content as well.
Yeah.
And also follow the Places FIU on Instagram. Follow us everywhere, where
Just
you're gonna
cover
see
all the bases, basically.
yeah, we're just all social media platforms, right? So yeah, and thank you so much, Nicole, for joining me.
And thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be here. So hopefully we can
Yeah.
have a lot of fun this semester.
Yes, I'm so excited.
And torture the masses with our.
with yeah, we'll see. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. We are your favorite legal ladies, Maciel, and
Nicole.
bye guys.
Bye, guys. Take care.